My tent took a battering.
That's painful to watch.
You wouldn't be enjoying that, would you, now?
I'm enjoying it now.
60-mile-an-hour winds forecast. Would have been nicer to wake up on a stillish morning without feeling like my tent was going to shit itself.
You can see the video here, or here somewhere, and I'm just going to set it up in the garden. I've got new poles, and I thought it would also be a good chance for me to review the MSR Elixir 1. I borrowed this from a friend who never used it because he prefers a hammock, and asked if I wanted to use it, and I said yes, and I used it once and I destroyed it.
That's painful to watch.
So I'd like to show you through it. I really like the tent, I really wanted it to work, and ultimately it got me through a night of 60-mile-an-hour winds, kept me dry and safe, so it's had a pretty good test. It weighs in at just over 2 kilos with the ground sheet, with the bag, that's all in pack weight. So you can get that down to sub 2 kilos. A lot of the lightweight community, well, they'd be right, they think 2 kilos is way too heavy, but I can happily take 2 kilos. So we're just gonna peg it up and have a look around at some of the details, see what we can find. First thing I say about the bag of pegs is there are 11 peg points and only 10 pegs. So that's a little bit annoying. And the bag itself has got some instructions on. Tells you how to do it step by step. So we've pegged out the 4 corners and it's on now. Get the poles ready and put the poles up. We've got 2 sets of poles on these grommets. These grommets will give it a point to stretch at, but one's grey, one's red, and this is for the colour coding. It's quite a smart design. Once you're happy with the ground sheet and you've got that all pegged out, next thing to go on is the inner tent. So we've got webbing along the top of these, so you can see that one side is red webbing, one side is grey webbing. So now what's left to do is just clip up red onto red, grey onto grey. And finally the crossbar at the top, which is what gives this amazing space inside. There's a slimline profile with a lot of height to it, and if it's a nice warm day you can just use it like this without the fly sheet over the top, which makes it incredibly comfy in warmer weathers.
Inside of the fly sheet there are 2 tabs, and these go on either end of the top bar. Once you've wrestled yourself from underneath the fly sheet, go around the tent, peg it down and guy it out. The great thing about their idiot proofing colour coding guide is that to know which way the front is, you just put the big red triangle over the door of the inner tent. And the final adjustment is pull down on the tabs in either of the corner to adjust the tension.
So, MSR Elixir 1. It looks like a solid tent, and it is a solid tent. But what's in it for a cook's perspective? As you may know by the name of the channel, by my previous videos, I like to cook while out on the trail. When I set up camp, the first thing I'm looking forward to doing is getting a pot of food on. So what can this offer that something else might not be able to? 1, decent enough price point. They're still expensive. That says that price does come with excellent customer service, which gets lost a lot in the modern world. So I really do recommend and rate their customer service. But practically, let's go and have a look. Decent ripstop outer shell. The hydrostatic rating on it isn't as high as a lot, however kept me dry in very ferocious weather. And at either end it's got these little vents, so if you want some airflow through, you just push that out. Easier when you're not holding a camera. And you've got good ventilation through there. Nice big entranceway, which you can also make a bit more sheltered by pulling it out to here. And inside, plenty of room for your sleeping mat and overhead lockers, which I like to use for the bag itself, and lockers as well at either end, and loads of mesh, so absolutely no condensation, really nice. And also, although it's a big tent, most of it is the vestibule, so there's not a massive space inside to have to heat up, which is really nice. When you're soaking wet, you take your dirty boots off, put them here. It's hard to get a lot of water in here. Even around the zip on the outer, they've got a little bit of protection to stop water flicking in. Standard toggle on the door, big mesh vent here, door goes round, and even glow in the dark zips, so at night they're going to be glowing if you need to get out in a hurry. The interior is a lightweight ripstop material. And again, we've got those two gear shells and lugs, which I hang my torch from usually. And I've also clipped a couple of other bits and bobs from those just to keep out of the way. Lots of ventilation and loads of headroom. I mean, wow, I've got like that much still to go. Plenty of space to then cook. And I will be doing my fish pie recipe in this very tent. So in another video, check out if I've made it now. If I've made it by this point, there'll be a link and a card flashing up on your screen to the Trangia made fish pie. I'm looking forward to that one. I've been thinking about it for quite a while. So hopefully I'm gonna nail it and it's gonna taste amazing. Failing that, I'm gonna have a nice fishy mix that the cat will enjoy. So how did it go? Click on the card above if I've made the video, subscribe, cheers and gone.
Oh, that looks a bit more like my tent now. That is some strong wind, isn't it? Look at it.
Day one.
That was straight then, was it?
Yeah. And there as well, look.
Gutted.